All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So, an interesting group of three, and I actually think I really like all three here. So, we're going to take a look at GameStop, GME, we'll take a look at LYFT, and then we will take a look at NVAX. Um, I think all of them are just one more candle away from making me believe even more. I think Lyft probably looks like the best in the bunch, but GameStop, again, this video is less about meme stock, rocket, rah, 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 and I'm seeing some nice technical potentials, right? And you know that's what my videos are about, right? Like, I am very, very, very well aware of the history of this stock, but like, yeah, you're not going to hear me talk about $100 is ridiculous. You're not even going to hear me talk about like $30, right? Because again, this is a $13 stock, right? So just remember where we're at. But yeah, there's a lot of technical potential. I like that phrase actually, and I think that's what the story is here. Lyft is looking nice. It actually really is. And I'm very much excited to talk about Lyft. And Lyft reminds me a little bit of more recent stocks that I've been dropping that are doing very, very well since I've mentioned them. Coinbase, DraftKings, Affirm yesterday, Jumia. Again, Lyft looks really nice and is very, very indicative of those ones, okay? And then NVAX. I think NVAX looks really interesting. I don't know it too well. I took a peek at the chart just before the close. I don't actually know where it closed, maybe like 30, 40 minutes before close, but I'm interested to basically do that one live on this video here. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we gonna do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are some horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here and giving me your time is super appreciated, all right? So let's get into it. And look, I don't care what the stock is, whether it's 3 letters or 4 letters or 5 letters, right? Good things happen over the 8 and the 20, and then bad things happen under the 8 and the 20. And look, you can see the thing, all right? I mean, there are, oh man, okay. Geez, all right, that's not what I was expecting to say. But look, couple things jump out as I'm looking at just this. Basically, I mean, look, let's just look at the full year. Damn. Since January of last year, I think it's very fair to say we have been under more moving averages than above them. And more specifically, we've actually been under the 8 and the 20, I think much longer than we've been above it, okay? I think that's an important thing to know. I like you got to know the history of the stocks, right? But the point I was really trying to make is, look, here's a decent example. When you can get over these 2 lines, man, all you're going to do is just bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce. And like the 8's an amazing line when you're over it, and it helps you so much, all right? When you fall under the 8, all you can do is bounce and bounce and bounce the other way. You can just never go over it. You know what I mean? And if you eventually do, the 20 is just going to slap you down. You know what I mean? And once again, we're right back under, bouncing and bouncing, okay? Today's candle was nice. Today's candle got us over the 8 and the 20 in a single move. And hey, when a stock is this bad, hopefully you weren't holding it up here, but man, this is a lot of red to green, all right? So there are a lot of things to like. Real quick before I keep moving on, I see it going up in after hours. I do not put a lot of weight in after hours. I think after hours is an easy way to lose money. I think the excitement in after hours does not always translate into regular hours, and you find yourself kind of regretting making that move in the excitement, right? But yeah, look, I see it going up, and you can tell I was already positive, right? Like, I don't need to see this movement to feel positive, but yeah, I'm not putting a lot of weight into this 380, 390. Like for me, the 13, excuse me, but 1351. Like that's the number that we got to. All right, and that's what I'm going to drive a lot of my next couple kind of comments on. All right, so. coming into what I was saying, like the technical setup that I like, right? One thing that I love is when you have good spacing in between the lines, okay? Look, these are computer generated lines. Like, I have no influence on them at all. And honestly, I do not know the math behind any. Like, I am not pretending to be some like math wizard dude that like knows, oh yes, I can see the line is here and doing some quick math. The line, no, all I'm really doing is just following the slopes and this and that, right? But when you break the 8, when you can get over this, you're going to go here. When you can get over this, you're going to go here. When you can get over this, you're going to go here. And when you can get over this, you can get over here. And I like when the spacing is good because, hey, look, even if we just go from here to here, that's a nice percentage. We barely went halfway and it was really nice already. We can go a little more and still hit another double digit, right? From there, if we can get over the 50 and try to march our way up to the 100, oh man, look at that spacing, right? So there are real nice things when the spacing is good, okay? When you break 2 lines, 2 moving averages on a single candle, I need some good confirmation, all right? And where is this? Ooh, I think I need, oh, but that's also half. All right, I'll take this. I think that, I don't know if that's enough for 2 moving averages. So I will say this. I think if you can close around $13.90, around $14, that would be very, very strong, to say the least. I think that's a real good confirmation for the 2 candles. I actually think that this 1380 number is going to be relatively hard. I'll draw the line just so it's easier to see. But 1380 is essentially the top of this and roughly half of that little bad boy. And I know that doesn't seem like an important candle, but that's pretty much the biggest thing from here to here. You know what I mean? Like, that's red, 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 red. So I think taking half and the top of that, I think maybe that'll be a little bit hard. And hey, from 1350, I think that's not too bad, actually. Okay, again, if we can get a little closer to here, 14, nonetheless, I'm going to delete this line. We don't need that line. But nonetheless, we do not need to attack the 50 moving average today. We can actually take a break around 14, gather ourselves, and then rip the day after, all right? And I will be like, I see this wanting to come to 1550. I really, look, do I think we're going to break this 50, the red line, the 50 moving average? I don't know. I actually really don't, because again, look at that. We haven't even touched it since the middle of July, since late July, whatever you want to call it, right? So the 20 has been very difficult. I think we have a shot at maybe a wick over it or something, but I think we're going to want to get to 15. I think we might even try to push that 1550, like I said. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if we only went to 1460, but again, in a lot of ways, saying only is a little disrespectful. Like, that is, roughly speaking, another 10%, right? You never, like, double-digit gains are amazing on single days, right? So, overall, look, the moral of the story on game is we need to believe that we're over the 8 and the 20, all right? Otherwise, all we're doing is something like this where, hey, we'll get over the 20 momentarily, but we're unable to confirm and eventually go back under. Today was one good day. Don't get too excited by one candle. Don't let this post-market continuing get you crazy excited, all right? Volume was a big spike today. It for sure was, right? We've seen, there we go. We've seen this before. We've seen a little bit of a spike. Maybe some of it kind of continued for a few days, right? But then it quickly fades away and goes like, we need to hold. We need 10 million shares tomorrow or more, all right? And what I like to do, there's basically 8 hours of trading a day. By the first hour of trading, we need 1,250,000. Wow, I struggled with that, but 1.25 million. That was the easiest way of saying it, all right? So that's what we need. If we can get that in the first hour or more, oh, it could be a really strong day, actually. This isn't a beautiful weekly, all right? But look, we are dancing with the 8 moving average. And again, the same comments I made on the daily. That's what, like, I don't know if all we're doing is just dancing and like we're going to keep falling and not do it, Or, hey, we've been below it for, I mean, again, like I said, since July, right? We're pushing 6 months. Maybe now's a good little moment where we get over it and we try to make a little move on up, right? So I think 15 is a decent target if tomorrow confirms, all right? If we go down, if we drop, 13.30 is realistic. $13 flat is realistic. I see it pushing $14. I see it. I'm telling you, there's a really decent chance it comes down to 13. I'm leaning a little more towards it pushing 15 though. All right. But again, don't believe the other side of the coin doesn't exist. All right. 13 could happen. All right. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, you know I appreciate your time. LYFT. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe and share the video, I would very much appreciate it. But let's get into it. And man, there is a lot to like on this chart right here. Okay, I don't actually even know where to start. Let's start up here like we normally do, right? This thing has been, wow, damn, get out of here. Since right here, since July, we have been trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying to escape all the moving averages. All right. Clearly, there was a very scary moment right here. And honestly, that's a scary moment. That would have scared me for sure. I'm not even trying to pretend that wouldn't, right? But oh man, today, I can't, like, not look. 9%'s a big number. I know we see these crazy double-digit, triple-digit numbers on a single day, right? But 9%'s a big number, so I don't want to like under. That is a monster candle. Do you see what today did? Today destroyed every single, all 5 moving averages on a single candle. Crazy. All right, that's big. Tomorrow. Damn, we're already. Tomorrow I'm expecting 1170. That is actually what I'm expecting. I think that's going to be some good confirmation. What's your number? Maybe 1155. I think 1155 on the low end. I think 1170 is a very fair, maybe even more, but I like this. We have a very nice positive MACD. That's good divergence. Look, divergence, just a fancy word for the lines going away from each other, and we want green going up and away from a down red, right? Looks like the RSI is peaking as well. Love that volume right there. Earnings just happened. I think it was on this day. I really don't know. You know, this is a cluster of 5 lines, right? And again, I do hate these because you go down, you go up, you go down, you go up. And like, dude, sometimes you're wildly excited. Sometimes you're wildly scared. I think this break of 5 is crazy. And dude, today we got a nice, almost double golden cross right there. Like, I like LYFT. I think today was indicative that the market is okay with the earnings. I like it. I do. I think that this is going to move. And I can see this at least coming here. All right, at least coming to this 1250. If we break 1250, I mean, green, 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 absolutely horrible nothing to green, 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 green. Like, this might have a really easy shot at 15 if that 12 number breaks, right? So I think there's a lot to like in LYFT. I think this should be sustainable. That's still a very, very healthy 54 RSI. Look at that weekly. Weekly might want to go to the 100 all the way up to 16. Again, I think that right there, 1470 is a decent target. I mean, yeah, there's a lot to like on LYFT. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, let's wind it down with NVAX. Okay. That's what I thought that this looked like. So this is an interesting setup, all right? And I will be on, it looks like I have lines on this thing, so I'm sure I've covered this back in the day or maybe even looked at this on the personal side, right? One thing I like to do, oh, interesting. Okay, I like to zoom out. Does it have more? Is this all of it? Yeah, this is pretty much all of it. Oh no, this is an old stock actually. Interesting, it's been around for a while. Cool, I like that. It knows what to do with some moving averages, actually, okay? It definitely loses them all and dies. it gets over all of them and flies, it goes back under them all and dies, right? So like this thing is actually very, very reactive to the moving averages. And hey, for me, that's a good thing. It's easy to jump out, knock on wood, it's easy to jump in, all right? This is an interesting setup right here. Okay, now look, you know I do not like a stock that's under all 5 moving averages. I do not like a stock that's living under the 8 and the 20. If I'm not mistaken, as I zoomed out, we are not in all-time lows, okay? So I was mistaken. Let me make some lines from that pass right here. Let's draw a couple things here. Where are you? Okay, let's put one right there. Sorry, right there, close enough to that. Looks like it's the top of that. Nice. And then I think that's good. No, it's too high. I think that's good. Yeah, look at that. Bottom of that, kind of the top of that. I think those are the 2 lines right there. Okay, cool. I think that's all we need to take. Oh, look at that. Okay, nice. So, ooh, that changes just a little bit. So what I was going to say before I drew this line, all right, was this is a beautiful red, 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 red. With getting over the 8 moving average, ideally, this thing will want to at least head to here. Again, is it going to hold it? I don't really know. I thought that this was going to come up to 613 tomorrow. That is actually what I was like seconds away from saying if I didn't draw this line. I actually think that this line is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set an alert at 577. If we can get over this, I think that will be the run that takes us into the 625 line. I can see this being a little bit hard because, again, I just drew it, and I'll come back to it. Sorry. So this is a oops. Nope, don't do that. Sorry. This is a resistance from earlier in the year. This is not that long ago, all right? It's basically mid to end of March right there, all right? And again, if I'm not mistaken, back here in what is this, 2019? Yeah, back in 2019, right? So there was a couple moments here, and obviously that was the moment before the gap up and run, right? So this is a line with a lot of history, and I think that might make it a little bit harder to break than it would have seemed in this. Like I said, I'm telling you, I was moments away from very confidently giving that at least what, 615, if not 630 number. I think it's all going to be about 577. I think that's the money line. And if we can break that, I think tomorrow could be a good day. Look, volume's been decent the last 4 days, right? But none of them, and really beyond the last 4 days, coming to, I mean, essentially, I guess here is what I'd call it. We've been, for the most part, well below, if not at least very much below that 50 line, right? So we do need a little bit more volume. I think if we can get over 577, that'll bring the volume tomorrow. Will we get over the 8 moving average? I don't really know. I'm sorry, the 20 moving average. I don't really know. I think maybe. I think there's actually a decent shot for it to want to come to maybe here. Maybe even a $7 target. But again, don't underestimate this $6.70 line, okay? So NVAX is an interesting one. I think I need a little bit more tomorrow. And yeah, 577 is the money line. Where's the 8 moving average at? 630. I think 630 will be our immediate target. And I think that's basically where that is. All right, 50 moving average might be a little difficult to get. I'm going to please delete that $7 number from your history, and let's keep it at 650. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, as always, hey, thank you.